Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry about that, guys. We got about a little less, about 9 minutes to go. Fantasy matches you were on, you know, the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart versus DX's Triple H and Shawn Michaels. You know, we were saying that, you know, I like to see Jim come back. His daughter has no freaking talent, even though that she was the only one that graduated from the dungeon. But, is she the only one today, though, that's an actual Hart?
No.
Or is there two that's actually in her? Because I know that the whole Hart Dynasty group is not actually kin. I think there's
only two.
That's what I
D.H. Smith.
Yeah. She's Davey Smith's boy.
Yeah.
Which is the British Bulldog, and that was fucked up too.
Tyson Kidd, his actual name was T.J. Wilson. He's a trainer at the dungeon.
Yeah.
He trained D.H. Smith and Natalia and stuff, people like that. He worked with Chris Jericho and stuff, but look at his career and look at Chris Jericho. I don't think he trained him very much.
No. You know, I just like to see.
Chris is another dungeon graduate.
Yeah. Now, you know, Bret Hart had made an appearance as GM for a long time. You know, but being realistic here, I really don't think that he would ever be back in that ring like he did just that one time. And he come back to finish what had started so many years ago.
Yeah.
Because of his brother's death, you know. And it really did take a toll. Not a lot of people like Bret Hart, but I fucking love Bret Hart.
Bret Hart's awesome.
I liked Bret Hart more than I did Owen, and Owen was good, but he was just a little too cocky against family. You know, he just had that attitude toward family that where I guess the fan base started saying, "Screw you, you know, we don't like you anymore." But you know, I mean, I like to see Bret Hart come back in the ring.
Fantasy match. Well, they did versus Robin and Kane still in their prime. All right, you see how dominant Kane and Big Show was, right? In their prime, I don't think they could hold a candle against the Road Warriors.
No.
Those guys were huge and they could out-wrestle Rey Mysterio. I mean, they were just raw. And that's another thing I want to discuss. And it's sad and as bad as it hurts me to say this, just because I liked them so much, but if Hawk wouldn't have died, they wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
No. And I like the Road Warriors, and I followed them growing up. And, you know, I followed a lot of the old ones, and I like the 80s wrestling more. I didn't do any of them, really. And the 90s was okay, like the Attitude Era, you know, and all that. You know, I like the Attitude Era, don't get me wrong. You know, and then, well, then it got shitty. I mean, there's nothing else to describe it, but it got shitty.
Yeah.
Fantasy matches, though, man. You know, that's a big thing. You know, you've got games and you can actually pretty much do that, you know. But, you know, talking about fantasy matches is I don't know, just something else to go by. I like to see an Andre to go against the Great Ali. No doubt about it. All hands down. You know, because neither one of them you half-ass understand what the other's saying. So that match is right there, you know, that's a connection there.
Well, it would actually probably be, you know, Big Show and Andre. I think Giant Gonzalez and Khali.
Yeah.
Now, do I honestly think Andre the Giant could have beat Undertaker? No. Because look, Undertaker's took Giant Gonzalez, Great Khali, Big Show, guys that are bigger than him.
Yeah. Let's see. World class wrestling. You know, it was badass, you know, and I like the Von Erichs, and all that shit was just fucked up. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Every bit of that shit was fucked up, and I think that was all cover-ups. I don't think, seriously, that in that industry or any type of industry, to the point where every one of your family members, as your brothers and shit, is going to commit suicide because they say that they led into it because of the drugs and shit. Yes, you can do drugs, people. people do drugs every damn day. But
Yeah.
do you absolutely see back in that day that how many people were supposed to be committed suicide because of drugs and shit? That, you know, as bad as drugs are today, you don't hear about many suicides at all over drugs or even alcohol if that.
Yeah.
You know, I liked Eric. You know, Eric was badass because he had the speed, he had the charisma.
And then something that was rumored for the longest time, everybody thought Kerry was the Ultimate Warrior.
And Kerry, you know, he had the looks. He had the women coming after, cheering him on, wanting to rub on his body and things like that. But
he was, you know, the modern day warrior. I liked him better as Texas Tornado.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and you know, when I watched the Von Erich story, it was just unbelievable in the shit that they said. And, you know, the only brother that's living, you know, he remembers every bit of it. And I feel sorry for him because that's something that he has to live with for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know, he actually seen one of his brothers blow his brains out in the woods, right up from the house.
And the thing too is, imagine what that was like at the Hall of Fame, though. He was the only one of all them there.
Yeah.
Let's see, fantasy match. Okay, I've got one. Snake versus Snake. Randy Orton versus Jake the Snake Roberts.
There you go.
Versus RKO.
There you go.
But this is what I don't get. What's the difference between anybody else's DDT and Jake
the Snake Roberts DDT? Why didn't they just get up from it like they do today? I thought about this shit. There is no answer to it because a fucking DDT is a DDT.
Now, I think Jake will be beaten by Randy Orton's DDT because that does look a whole a lot more effective.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you another fucked up moment in the wrestling, and it goes back to the Hearts, is when Owen pretty much paralyzed Stone Cold for a while.
Yeah.
That was fucked up, dude. I don't know how the hell. For. I don't know. I'm not going to say that he done it on purpose. I'm not going to say that it was an accident either. But I'm just saying, how in the fuck is your neck fucking broke? You're going to get up and finish that shit like he did. And act like nothing was wrong. Nobody knew that he was hurt. You know. And just get up. He said when he held that belt up, he said the lights was on, but nobody was at home.
And that's another thing. Randy Orton, CM Punk and everything too, said just, nothing against him, but they said Triple H is literally, even Shawn said it, is the most careless wrestler you'll ever get in the ring with. Because he can get away with it.
Yeah.
Just because who he is. And who
he's don't get me wrong.
But Randy Orton, when they had their feud thing, whatever, for the heavyweight title, those 2 minutes in the match, and he already broke Randy Orton's collarbone. I mean, you know.
And I'll tell you another one that I just want to throw out real quickly because we got about a minute left, is the one that had the ability to do shit when he was told that he wouldn't would be Shawn Michaels. On his back and shit, said that they'd never walk to the ring again, and what the fuck did he do?
Well,
he's still doing it.
A lot of people don't know this until Rey Mysterio's time. Shawn Michaels, for the longest time, was the smallest world champion ever. I mean,
so, well, you guys, I think it's going to be about done it for this. He's going to do a little small video on his comic books, and before I move, we're going to try to get a couple more videos in there to you guys, and so we can do that. And but before now, until then, this is CWSMMC On Wrestling, and I'm Bobby.
I'm Lois.
And if you like us, you like us. If you don't, oh well. And we'll see you hopefully, next week? Next week.
You have made a mess everywhere.